Right friends, welcome back to second module. This is the recap on current affairs, basically in view of IBPS PO exam on 31st October. And look at the first question. Hubble telescope completed 25 years. Hubble telescope is kept in low Earth orbit. It was launched by NASA with assistance from some other space agencies like European Space Agency and others. It is the space observatory at a low Earth orbit. The basic advantage is the effects with regard to the atmosphere will be avoided when the telescope is kept at the low Earth orbit, right? So, Hubble telescope recently completed 25 years of its existence, and certain things please don't forget. Hubble telescope was launched by NASA with assistance from other space agencies, and European Space Agency launched Rosetta mission. European Space Agency launched Rosetta mission, that is basically to look at comets. The New Horizons spacecraft of NASA is to look at Pluto, and our Mangalyaan or Mars orbiter mission is to look at Mars. And India also launched AstroSat recently, that is the first space observatory of India. So these things please don't forget. United Nations recently completed 70 years of its existence. United Nations came into existence on 24th October 1945 after Second World War, and there are 5 permanent members of United Nations Security Council, and at present there are 193 members in United Nations. These things don't forget, and United Nations recently completed 70 years of its existence, and there is a lot of demand from India and other countries to restructure the United Nations Security Council. G4 countries, India, Japan, Germany and Brazil are called G4 countries. Recently, G4 summit was held in New York, and our Prime Minister participated along with the heads of other governments, and G4 was formed somewhere around 2004 basically to press for permanent membership of United Nations Security Council. The countries of G4 are Japan, Germany, India and Brazil. The maximum deposit under Senior Citizen Savings Scheme. Senior Citizen Savings Scheme was brought somewhere around 2004, and the maximum deposit allowed is rupees 15 lakhs. Time period is 5 years. And out of all the small savings schemes as on date in the country, the Senior Citizens Savings Scheme commands the highest interest at 9.3%, followed by Sukanya Samriddhi Account scheme with 9.2%. Please don't forget, the interest rate for Senior Citizen Savings Scheme is 9.3%, followed by Sukanya Samriddhi at 9.2%. Then National Savings Certificate NSC of 10-year duration commands 8.8% interest. Public Provident Fund is 8.7% interest. And these things please do not forget. At 7% interest, each farmer will get maximum crop loan up to rupees 3 lakh. Each farmer is entitled to crop loan at 7% interest. And please don't forget, here 2% interest subvention or interest subsidy is paid by the central government to the banks, but the farmer will get crop loans up to maximum 3 lakhs at 7% interest. Look into the next one. Under Sukanya Samriddhi Account scheme, the interest rate for 2015-16 is 9.2%. This is for girl child up to the age of 10 years, maturity after completing 21 years, maximum limit per annum is rupees 1,50,000. These things please don't forget. When it comes to Sukanya Samriddhi account, the interest for this year is 9.2%. This is basically in view of a girl child. Niti Aayog replaced Planning Commission. In place of Planning Commission, Niti Aayog came into existence. NJAC, National Judicial Appointments Commission, is with regard to the appointment of judges to high courts as well as judges to Supreme Court, and Please don't forget, NJAC consists of 6 members, 3 from Judiciary, Chief Justice of Supreme Court and 2 senior judges, and 3 from political and civil society, which comprises Minister of Law and Justice, and at the same time 2 eminent persons to be nominated by the committee consisting of the Prime Minister, Chief Justice of the country and leader of the opposition, and the tenure for the eminent persons is 3 years. This is 3 plus 3, 6 members. This is basically for appointment and transfer of judges of high courts and appointment of judges to Supreme Court, and recently 5 judge bench headed by Pierre stated that this National Judicial Appointments Commission is constitutionally not tenable. It is void. Right friends, Mission Indradhanush is for vaccination of 7 diseases, and it is taken up in 201 districts of the country, and 82 districts are concentrated in 4 states. Right, these things please don't forget. Mission Indradhanush is basically for vaccination of 7 diseases. Look into the next one. Under Smart Cities Mission, the aim is to develop 100 cities, and it is piloted by Ministry of Urban Development, and each city will get rupees 100 crores for the next 5 years. Right friends, look at the next one. Mann Ki Baat is the Prime Minister's address through All India Radio. Every month the Prime Minister is addressing the people through All India Radio, and it is Mann Ki Baat. 14th Finance Commission increased the share. 14th Finance Commission headed by Y.V. Reddy increased the share of taxes to the states from the centre's divisible pool of taxes from 32% to 42%. Name the country where the Prime Minister is called Taoiseach. The Prime Minister is called Taoiseach in the country Republic of Ireland. Enda Kenny is the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister of India recently visited Republic of Ireland. And certain things please don't forget. The Parliament of Japan is the Diet, and the Parliament of Israel is called Knesset. Name the country which decided to send its troops abroad for the first time. The country is Japan. Previously, Japan has not sent its troops to fight abroad, but now Japan will send its troops to fight abroad. This is known as a change in doctrine from self-defense to collective self-defense. Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands. Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands are the bone of contention between China and Japan. Right? And China has got territorial dispute with several other Asian countries with regard to Spratly Islands also. Right? Don't forget these islands, because there is a difference of opinion about the ownership of these islands. Sagarmala project pertains to development of ports and connectivity of ports to the hinterland. Sagarmala is with regard to development of port infrastructure as well as connecting it to the hinterland. Similarly, don't forget, dedicated freight corridors pertains to railways. Right? COP21, this is the Climate Change Conference or Conference of Parties 21, which is going to be held in Paris. Look at the next one. India has recently committed its INDCs. INDCs are intended nationally determined contributions with regard to the reduction in carbon emissions, and these will be discussed in the Climate Change Conference, which will take place from November 30 in Paris. And 4 important issues are there with regard to INDCs committed by India. The first one is India will reduce its carbon emissions by 33 to 35% with regard to the 2005 level by 2030 per unit of GDP. This is the first one. Second one is India will ensure the share of renewable energy in the total energy production by 2030 will be 40%. That means 40% of our energy will be other than fossil fuels by 2030. Third one is India will make carbon sink through afforestation and other means up to an extent of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon sink. And the last one is India requires funding of $2.5 trillion at 2014-15 prices. These are the commitments given by India as per its INDCs. Name the commission which gave its report that MAT is not applicable for FPIs. The committee which gave its report is AP Shah committee, and it gave the report because FPIs do not have permanent establishment in our country. That's why they are not required to pay minimum alternate tax, right? Name the country which commissioned expanded Suez Canal. Recently, Egypt commissioned expanded Suez Canal. GCF. GCF is Green Climate Fund. Green Climate Fund will be $100 billion every year from 2020, and this is maintained by United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And don't forget, UNFCCC headquarters is in Bonn, Germany. Name the new Prime Minister of Canada. He is Justin Trudeau. G20 summit is going to be held in Antalya in Turkey. And at present, number of scheduled commercial banks in the country are 91. The latest bank to become scheduled commercial bank is IDFC. IDFC became the 91st scheduled commercial bank in the country. SLR will be reduced by 0.25% every quarter during 2016-17 as per the recent monetary policy. That means every quarter 0.25%. Throughout 2016-17, it will be reduced to an extent of 1%. That means 4 times 0.25% each. Put together, it will become 1% during 2016-17. And don't forget, at present the SLR is 21.5%. Right friends, with this let us conclude this module, and please do join for third module. Have a nice day.